Hi, this is Char. Welcome to Frames and Fire. Today we've got Citizen Z Unfiltered. We're going to discuss charcoal, coffee, broken pencils, and 53 years of Citizen Z. Our guest is Mike. I'm your host, Char, and let's get going. I'll explain to you now. I am not an animator, but I am obsessed with animation. Welcome again to the show. This podcast, I'm going to drag legends out of the hiding, make them relive their most traumatic deadlines for our collective amusement. I'm Shar, a lifelong junkie of animation, collector of obscure animation trivia, and the person who once watched Fantasia frame by frame just for fun. Today, I get to grill a man whose career spans from Paramount to Pixar, from pencil flips to neural networks. He's animated everything from ghosts and monsters. He's even fell asleep on the job more times than his bosses ever knew. And he still shows up sharper than most 20 somethings with a six Red Bull in him, rolling, ready to go. Please welcome Please welcome the human timeline of animation himself, Citizen Z, aka Mike.
What up, Shar? And how are you doing today? And thank you for that awesome welcome, man. Thank you. And thank you for doing this podcast.
Eh,
So, what are we talking about today, there, Shar?
Well, Mike, we're going to make you take us back. We want to know what made you pick up a stick of charcoal instead of, I don't know, becoming an accountant like maybe your mom wanted you to be.
Yeah, my mom would have preferred that I become a nun. If I came with a steady paycheck, that is. I grew up sharing a two-bedroom apartment in downtown LA. One of eight kids. Eight. Imagine the Hunger Games, but with cereal. Privacy was literally out the fucking window. Unless you hid in the bathroom or under the table with a paper bag and a charcoal stub, life was rough, man. I picked charcoal because it was free. It was messy, and nobody else wanted it. There was no TV, just imagination and a lot of yelling. I made flip books out of junk mail. My first animation was a blob that turned into a snake and then ate itself. Cute stuff for a kid, right?
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
in '67, I literally walked into Paramount and wouldn't leave. You know what I told them, Char?
What did you tell
I told them I could in between, but I lied. I learned overnight that the industry was guts first, talent later. I still could sketch, but I never did in betweening. You didn't wait for permission. You made 'em need you, Char.
Wow. That's the most chaotic motivational speech I've heard. I think I'm going to be stealing that from you.
You know, Char, you don't have to steal it. I will give it to you for free, and you can use it at any point in time.
Thank you. You hit all the big studios. What were they really like? And don't hold back. Give us the full, beautiful disaster.
Beautiful disaster is right, Char. Paramount was like a jazz club with pencils. It was loud, it was weird, half the animators were drunk by lunch. You had guys animating full scenes while smoking, arguing, and drawing with the same hand. It was magic and madness. Harvey, Harvey, you want to talk about insane? Harvey, you want to know the truth about Casper Shar?
Yes, I would.
It's hell. animating a character that's literally 90% blank. We used to draw them in batches while somebody read dirty jokes from a joke book older than the Civil War. It was bad. It was therapy, but it was bad therapy, Char.
That's awesome.
And then Disney. Want to hear about Disney?
Yeah.
Disney, the quote unquote holy grail, right? Except the grail came with ulcers. I
Mm.
animated Tigger during the bounce test shot. Bouncing was fun until you're doing it for the 96th
Oh.
time and your hand seizes up like this, like Fred Sanford. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming to
I'm
get you,
coming. I'm
Elizabeth. Hand
coming.
all seizes. That's right. It's crazy, man. The stress was high. The expectations were higher. I once fell asleep mid bounce, woke up with a cramp and a loop that looked like trigger, got into the meth drawer. I'm serious, man. It was called Tigger on Meth. I swear to God it was. And
I
then, and then Pixar. It was like being launched into the Matrix, man. Everything was glowing, bleeping, blooping, beeping, bopping, digital. And here I was, a paper animator into a background, being a background animation manager. My job was to make sure the world felt real. So I used to have to critique people on the backgrounds for most of the movies to have the real feeling, like the flow, the timing, and everything was all correct. So that is what I did, and it's a lot different than being a paper animator. It's a lot different than working for Disney and doing in betweens. This job was hell. This job, I worked like 16 to 18 hours a day.
mm.
It was just pure hell. Even if I hadn't slept in 2 days, and the only meal I had was tea that I had reheated 4 times. But, sure, I wouldn't trade it because every frame I touched, I felt, and that was worth the arthritis.
And here I thought animators just sat quietly drawing puppies. You people are on a deadline away from the apocalypse now.
Apocalypse, yeah. Fucking deadlights. We need this done in 30 minutes. But, boss, it's a 2-day job. No, it's not. It's a 30-minute job, or you can be replaced. Those were deadlines, Char.
Awesome. Well, somewhere in this chaos, you managed to find love. Tell me how that happened. And don't make it cute. We want full honesty here.
Oh. Yeah, you must be talking about half. Oh, it wasn't cute. It was war. It was like fucking War 2.0. I met Half in South Africa. She was cleaning the floor for this janky animation setup we were building, and I did a contract on this. I took a holiday from Disney and I helped set this up. But she hated my guts, man. She thought I was some loud, arrogant
Mm.
American. She wasn't wrong because that's what I was. I was
Right?
loud. I was arrogant. I thought my shit didn't stink. And she hated me, man. Oh, she just tell me, shut the fuck up. I want to hear your mouth. But I wore her down with awkward jokes. I told her some of the worst jokes that anybody could ever say. I'd say, "Hey, you want to listen to a dirty joke?" And she'd stare at me. I said, "Yeah, white horse fell in the mud puddle. Isn't that funny?" And she just look at me with disdain, man.
She's like, shut up.
And then, oh yeah, but every day, man, I'd talk to her. Finally, she laughed at one of my jokes. That was the breaking ice moment. And then I just refused to leave her alone, you know? Maybe I was a stalker, but, when I seen her, I knew
You
she was
knew.
going to be my wife, man, I just knew it.
Poor
So,
thing.
we got married. Oh, oh, yeah, she lives with me. Think of that. Think of that.
Exactly. That's what I'm
For
saying. Poor thing.
47 years, think of that, man. So we got married. She moved to LA with me. She saw the life, the deadlines, the missed holidays, the ink-stained shirts, and she never flinched. We were still poor. I was not rich as an in-betweener. I was far, far, far from it. Um, but she was the only thing stronger than my caffeine addiction. And then we had our daughter Chilla. And wouldn't you know it, she caught the bug. She inherited my hand. She is now a lead animator at Sony now, and she runs circles around what I used to do. Makes me proud, even when she critiques my old scenes like she's grading homework, right? She was looking at one of my old animations the other day, and she says, "You know, Dad, I probably would have fired you."
Letting you know it's not as sparkling as it once was, huh? Okay.
Exactly.
I can't decide if this is romantic or a cautionary tale about dating anyone who owns a light box.
Oh, yeah, she owned a light box, alright. She threatened to beam me with it many times.
Be honest, when digital took over, did you panic? Did you scream at Wacom and call its names?
Oh, I called it many names. Some names I can't repeat because this podcast, we're trying to keep it in the PG range. Just let me put it to you this way. They were most explicit, right? And switching to digital felt like a betrayal. I missed the sound of paper flipping. I missed the feel of the smudged graphite, on your knuckles. Suddenly we're clicking layers instead of flipping frames. And it was like, where's the soul? Where's the feel of the paper? Where's the breath of what you are drawing? Where's the life that you are transferring out of your soul onto the paper? But then I adapted. Because the soul isn't in the tool, it's in the hands and in the mind of the person who is projecting it. You either evolve or you whine and fade. And I wasn't done yet because my projection to people, I never sought the headlines. I always sought the laughter and the smile.
Right.
And then AI hit after that. Everyone panicked. I didn't. I studied it. Later, after I retired, I built Intense AI. I use that as my music generator. I used Neural Ink for image generation, which I've taken Stable Diffusion now, and I use it like it owes me money, and it's good. It's professional. It does 8K full images,
Wow.
but it's not human, and that's your job. AI doesn't understand your frustration, your pain, your happiness, your feelings, your soul. You can't have it feel guilt or joy, but I can.
Right.
And that's the difference.
I feel like I just got a TED talk from a man who could draw Godzilla on a napkin while blindfolded.
Well, I drew Goofy one time snorting coke. So does that count, Char?
Yeah. All right. Let's light the match. What's broken with the industry today?
The better question would be what's not broken in today's industry. Studios have forgotten that animation is art, not content. Now they want it cheap, fast, and AI generated. They don't want emotion. They just simply want output. We've got kids working on 10 projects for exposure and a pizza coupon. Union protections are evaporating. Executives think you can replace a 30-year animator with a plugin. Spoiler alert, you can never do that. But the indie scene, it's on fire. It's exploding. Kids on YouTube doing frame by frame with zero budget and heart. That's rebellion. That's what I want to see more of. I want to see indie take over the animation industry, not just have some AI out there plugging buttons and creating your movie in 30 minutes that took you 6 months to make.
God bless the broke geniuses with cracked tablets and burning passion.
Yeah, God bless them.
Last scene. What would you tell a young animator listening to this right now? What words of wisdom
Well,
can you pass?
all right. So this is what I will tell you. Draw like no one's watching, and then fix it like everyone's judging. Learn the rules, break the rules, animate a chair falling, and make someone feel it. Practice your timing. Study people. Study objects. Study when something's falling. Study how somebody laughs. Look at their cheeks. Look at their lips. Look at the wrinkles around their lips. Look at how they hold their lips as they laugh. Listen to how they breathe when they laugh. Listen to the laugh itself. It's all about studying what you are trying to do. It's all about bringing what you're trying to do to life for people. And most of all, back up your damn files. Ask me, I know. But when you sat there 200 hours and you don't back up your damn files, well, guess what? You got to fucking draw them all over again. And that lesson is written in tea stains and tears, let me tell you.
Amazing. I bet it is. If you didn't just write that on a post it note and stick it to the monitor, what are you even doing?
So, Char, um, I want to thank you for having me on your podcast, and I'll let you do whatever you're doing. And thank you for your time, and thank you for the interview. I really appreciated it, and I had a great time doing it.
Thank you for your time, Citizen Z. We enjoyed getting to know more about you, or a little.
Thank you, and to the audience, you have a wonderful day, and peace, love, and weed to you.
Thank you. That was Citizen Z, animator, mentor, narcoleptic warrior, poet of the pencil. If you like this episode, please leave a review. If you didn't like the episode, please leave a comment. Tell us why. Tell us what you want to see. Give us your opinion. We're here to entertain each other. We're going to start doing this podcast at least once a week. And we need to know what you want, what you like, what you don't like, so we can figure out which way to go. This has been Frames and Fire, and I'm Char. And I still think hand drawn walk cycles are sexier than 3D explosions. I just feel more from the animation versus the AI. With that, stay sketchy, weirdos. See you later.